नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। प्रह्लाद नारद पराशर पुण्डरीक व्यासाम्बरीश शुक शौनक भीष्मदाल्व्यान् रुक्माङ्गदार्जुन वसिष्ठ विभीषणादीन् पुण्यानिमान् परमभागवतान् स्मरामि. So when we recite these slokas, we get into the mindset of, okay, we are going into the Bhagavata Purana, an opportunity for us to get into the meditative mindset. In fact, a lot of people, that's why they recite the Hare Rama, Hare Krishna this time. A lot of Upanyasams will say, Gopika Jeevana Smaranam, Govinda, Govinda, which means, yes, we are getting ready, we are getting into this mindset. We've already discussed about Kali's atrocities. The Yuga Kali itself creates a lot of changes compared to Dwapara Yuga, and therefore Bhakti says that it is very difficult for me to survive. So she says that I went around to so many different locations. I was born in Dravida Desha, and then I grew up in Karnataka, Maharashtra, everything. But then at one point of time, I became too old, I became fragile. So did my children, Jnana and Vairagya. Everybody became fragile. The moment I reached Vrindavana, I somehow got back my youth. But my children are still having a lot of difficulty. They are not able to get back their youth. What is happening? So Narada Maharishi starts explaining about the Kali Yuga. The purpose of Kali makes everybody lose the essence of whatever they see. Hypocrisy prevails everywhere. But what did Parikshit Raja do? He ensured that he takes the Sara even from Kali. So he told Kali, look, you can stay because you have certain good qualities. And what is the good quality? Keshava Kirtanat. Just by singing the praise of Bhagavan Keshava, you can achieve a lot of things which were achieved in the previous Yuga to a lot of efforts. 1,000 years of Krita Yuga, 100 years in Treta Yuga, all that just, a day of effort in Kali Yuga would suffice. So that is the advantage. So for the sake of people in Kali Yuga, let me permit Kali, was Parikshit Maharaja's take. Okay. So with all this mindset, we understood the Parikshit's mental model. We've completed the first chapter of the Bhagavata Mahatmyam as mentioned in the Padma Purana's Uttarakanda. We are now moving into the second Adhyaya. In the second Adhyaya, the conversation between Narada and Bhakti continues. So we'll just take one sample sloka to understand the atrocities and take things forward from there. Satyam nasti, tapaha shaucham daya, kimapi na vidyate. Now think about it. What is happening? Satyam nasti, shaucham daya nasti. Satyam means truth. Truth has to prevail, right? Now, truth does not prevail. Saucham, purity. Purity is not just having a bath, it is about inner purity. Mano, vak, kayam being aligned. What we speak and what we mean should be one and the same thing. These are internal cleansing. Now, those are not there. These are the prerequisites for jnana. So if you want to go into jnana, these are prerequisites. If you learn about Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there are yamas and niyamas, a lot of rules to be followed in order to go into that path. But these basics, the so-called assumed foundation itself is not there in Kali Yuga. And then what happens? Tapaha nasti, perseverance. Once we take up something for Bhakti Yoga, years and years of effort is required. Now, even the basic consistency is not there. A person does something. In fact, it is so evident when we go for a morning walk, New Year resolution, you will see the first of every year, every single place will be crowded. You go to the parks, it will be crowded. You go to the beach, it will be crowded. People will start jogging, they will keep walking, everything. After 1 week, the cloud will slowly reduce. Even in gym, it's the same case. After a month or two, now you go to the gym, it'll relatively be empty. Go to the beach, go to the park, all places are relatively empty because consistency is lacking in people. So here Narada Maharishi says, tapaha, that discipline, that austerity is completely gone in Kali Yuga. This discipline is required for vairagya. We have to consistently do something if we have to achieve the result, right? That is the vairagya, viragasya bhava. I'm not going to go in for the comforts. I'm going to look in for my goal, right? That is not there in Kali Yuga. So now Jnana is finding it difficult. Daya, Dana, these are required for everything, right? We have to have compassion to all the beings. That is missing in Kali Yuga. So he is thinking of all this. Now, as if added to this entire complication, Kuta Bhashinaha is people thrive by hypocrisy. So what if these qualities are not there? I will project off as if all these qualities are there. So people will think that I'm good, right? So it is not alignment of manovakayam. It is like be whatever, say whatever. It really does not matter because Satya is gone. So Varakaha, they are just burdened because Udara Barinaha, to fulfill their desires because of peer pressure, because of, all the basic requirements in Kali Yuga, people start compromising on everything. So, what are the problems? Basically, he speaks about 5 different things, right? He says there is absolutely no discipline, there is no purity, there is no consistency. People are just driven because of their survival, anxiety to survive, peer pressure. Hypocrisy is being normalized. So, these are the issues that are faced by Kali. Now, what happens? Jnana requires Satya and Saucha. In Kali Yuga, Satya is not there, Saucha is disturbed. Vairagya requires Daya, Dhana, Tapa. Kali Yuga, all these are also not there. Added to this complication, Udarabarinaha, Varakaha. So, for the sake of survival pressure, they compromise on all their morals. So, when Satyam, Tapas, Saucham, Daya, all these are not able to stand, Jnana and Vairagya do not have a place in Kali Yuga. So, this is not a complaint of Narada Maharishi. He's identifying the issue. It's a diagnosis. Okay. So, this is the problem because of which Jnana and Vairagya are not waking up. That is what Narada Maharishi now says. Hey, Bhakti, do not worry. You still have a way out. Shree Krishna Charanambojam Smara Dukkam Gamishyati. Just keep looking at Krishna's feet. Get into the meditative mindset of Bhagavan Sri Krishna's lotus feet, and all your sorrows will disappear. Sri Krishna Charanambojam Smara Dukkam Gamishyati. Think of it, and all the sorrows will vanish. Now, what has this got to do with the Kali Yuga's issues? Kali Yuga, there were so many inconsistencies which we saw as the problem. How will looking at Krishna's feet help us get rid of all the sorrows? I will tell you an interesting story. After that, we will go into these slokas of explanation. We discussed about people taking efforts during the New Year Eve, right? So let us assume that there is this girl. Her name is Vani. Vani is now walking. It is later in the evening. Place is a little bit dark, and there is a group of people who are searching for something on the floor. So she hears them speak about a beautiful gold earring which was dropped. Everybody is now searching for the gold earring. People are like, oh, one lady's dropped the gold earring, one lady's dropped the gold earring. So everybody is looking at the floor. Now, what is Vani doing? She's removed her sandals. She's walking on the grass. It's a little dark. It is after sunset. Everybody is searching. So she's thinking, I can also search. If I get it, it'll be good. Because we are in Kali Yuga, right? That's the mindset of people. We already discussed. So she wants to search for it. But she is walking. As she is walking, something strong pricked her feet. she's like, wow, this is my luck. So everybody is searching for the gold earring. So the gold earring is pricked my leg. So what she does not actually reveal that gold is in her feet. Vani puts her sandals very carefully. The earring, she thinks, is still there in her feet, and she slowly starts to walk to her house. When she starts walking, something is still pricking her feet. Of course, she's not removed everything, right? Because she does not want anybody to notice that she's got it. People are still searching for the earring and they've not got it. So she's like, okay, let me be very careful. She slowly, moves away from that place and she walks. Her leg is so painful, she's starting to bleed, but I'm not going to take it off. I some way, somehow have to reach my home. After I reach my home, I can always put a band-aid, take care, I can heal myself. So no worries. But then this effort is worth it. I'm going to get a gold earring. So the effort of walking from the park to my house in pain is nothing compared to this. So Vani goes home. Her leg is now filled with blood. She removes her sandals, switches on the light. Apada, she sits down and she looks at her feet. And Vani found a Ani. She saw a nail. It was not a gold earring. And her leg is filled with blood because of the Ani. She's been bearing all that pain in this entire path she came. So, what is happening? She's like, oh my God. She removed that nail. She threw it off. Like, you've caused so much of pain for me. Now you've damaged my leg. She's so irritated, so annoyed. Now, what happens here? Initially, she assumed this to be a gold. She was willing to bear with all the pains. The moment her eyes revealed to her that this was nothing but a nail, she threw it off. This is what happens to us in everyday life. What happens? We think the samsara, the situation we are in, is worth all the pain. We think it is a gold earring. We bear with all the pain of the samsara sagara. And now bhakti reveals itself. And then we realize, hey, what is happening? It is just a nail, a thorn which has been pricking my leg all this time. I'm bleeding because of this. I thought it is valuable. It is not valuable. And once we realize it, there is no effort that is required. Till it was gold, Vani was like so anxious to hold on to it. Come what may, even if there is pain, she was holding on to it. But then when she realizes that, hey, no, this is not gold, this is just a nail, no need of any vairagya. She automatically threw it off, right? Similarly, when we realize that this is not the valuable thing that I'm looking off, what is valuable is elsewhere. Krishna Padamboja Smara. So that is Narada's solution. The real valuable thing is the feet of Bhagavan Krishna. The moment we get that awareness, the moment we get bhakti, that is the light, that is the eye opening for Vani. The moment she realizes it, she throws away the thorn instantly. So the moment bhakti comes, jnana and vairagya get revealed to us. This is the beautiful situation we are in Kali Yuga. So what does Narada Maharishi says? Kali is a beautiful time for us to be in. What happens in Kali Yuga? It is not like other yugas. In other yugas, we needed so many prerequisites. We needed satyam, we needed saucham, we needed tapa, we needed so many things. Even before we attempted jnana, we had to have vairagya, we had to have conviction, we had to have so much of persistence. But in Kali Yuga, that is not going to happen. So Bhagavan, out of his karuna, what does he do? He changes the pattern for us. So what is the pattern? If you look at the story of Vani, what actually happened is she opened her eyes, which is like bhakti coming there. What happens? Immediately, Jnana comes. She knew that it was a nail. Vani realized the Jnana, Ani, right? So Vani realizes Ani. So the situation was evident. I am bleeding for a worthless thing. So instantly Vairagya, she threw it off. No need of any efforts to convince that throw all these off. The moment Bhakti comes, all these are revealed. In Kali Yuga, Bhakti leads us to Jnana and Vairagya automatically comes in. So Jnana and Vairagya become the effects when Bhakti is there. So for Bhakti, what should we do? We just have to do a smarana of Krishna Pada. So remember the lotus feet of Bhagavan Krishna and everything will come into its place. Shree Krishna Charanambhojam Smara Dukkam Gamishyati. All the sorrows goes off when you think of the beautiful lotus feet of Krishna. Satyadi Triyuge Bodha means wisdom. Vairagya is the Vairagya. Mukti Sadhakam. They were our means to get mukti. Kalau tu kevala bhakti hi. In Kali Yuga, it is just the bhakti. Brahma Sayujyakarini. This gives us a communion with the Parabrahmam itself. So bhakti does the work in Kali Yuga. So what should you do? Alam vratair, alam tirtair, alam yogair, alam makaihi. Enough of taking all the efforts in the different directions. Alam jnana kathalabhaihi. So you keep listening to a lot of philosophical things. What is the point? Bhakti is what is going to give you freedom from all these things. So focus on bhakti. There is a king. The king is now faced with so many situations in life. There is a possibility of invaders coming and invading his kingdom. So, king is preparing his entire troop. He's getting everybody to speed. And people are working so hard that the king is not able to focus into his regular routines, because when somebody is going to invade, it is an emergency situation. So he's getting ready his troops, he's getting ready with all the requirements to protect the country. At that point of time, there is a possibility of a famine. So people are like, what will we do for our survival? Udara Barinaha, we learned, right? So people need to be fed. What am I going to do? I'm using all my resources in order to feed my people. Because of so much of pressure of possible invaders, possible famine, what happened is the king basically started focusing on everything but on himself. So his health took a backseat. So he's now becoming weak. He's not able to focus on all these affairs. A lot of situation happens. At one point, the king is like, I don't think I can handle this pressure any longer. So he wants to leave his kingdom, leave his belongings. He is so overwhelmed with all these pressures that he wants to escape from his kingdom. So he thinks, okay, end of this week, I'm going to just leave. I'm not going to be bothered about anything. I don't think I can handle this anymore. At that point, Sadhavo Deenavatsalaha, what happens? His Gurunatha comes there. The king, on seeing the Gurunatha, now offers his namaskaras. He says, seeing you at this point of time itself gives me so much of relief, and he offers his namaskaras. The Guru, seeing the king so filled with issues, Guru could see him, right? His health is deteriorated. His mind seems to be so cluttered, unlike his usual self. He's so disturbed physically and mentally. The Guru is asking the king, what is your problem? You don't look the way you looked the previous trips. Is something troubling you? Is there a way I can help you out? So the king explains all the situations. He says, this is my plight. I have no idea of what I should do. The Guru now looks at the king. He says, So you think you want to move away from all these things? The king says, I don't have a choice. What else can I do? So the Guru says, if that is the case, do one thing. Give your kingdom to me. Give all your property to me. So the king is extremely happy. Instead of, escaping from the place, I'm handing it over to my Guru. Guru is a person who will be able to handle anything. So I'm so relieved that people tomorrow will not speak that I ran away. I'm just handing it over to my Guru. So the king is very excited about it. He hands it over to the Guru. He said, ha, now what a relief. I'm feeling completely relieved at this point of time. Now the Guru says, okay, now that you've given the entire kingdom, everything that belonged to you, to me, what are you going to do for a living? The king says, what will I do for a living? I will just go join somewhere, do some regular work where people don't even recognize me. I'll go to some no man's land and I will take care of my survival. That should not be a problem. Now the Guru says, in that case, do one thing. You are anyway going to go somewhere and work for someone. Instead of that, why don't you work for me? I am a spiritual person. I don't have awareness to these state affairs. So you can actually work for me where you take care of the state affairs. I will still be the owner. King feels that's a good idea so that the Guru is not pressured by all these things which he's not really been into. So the king says, no problem. The king takes care of everything. His mind is clear. He's focusing on what to do in case the invaders come. He's focusing on what to do to take care of the famine situation which might happen. Periodically, he goes and reports the progress to the Guru. The Guru says, excellent, this is very well done. What is the next thing? Okay, go ahead. The king goes and does everything. Now a few months pass by. The king has regained his health. The Guru is happy to see the king. The Guru is asking the king, how is everything going? What do you feel? Are you still under the pressure which you were earlier? The king says, not at all, Guru. You are the owner. You are doing everything. I'm just working for you. I don't have any pressure. He says, how is the current situation now? What happened to all those invaders? The invaders never came. And the moment they realized that I'm healthy and I'm taking care of everything, the invaders never came up. What happened to the famine? Famine was a rumor, but even if the famine affects, we are now prepared. We have enough resources. We've taken all the precautions. So we will be able to support people, not just for 3 months. For the next 1 year, we have supplies. Now the Guru smiles. He says, what was the change? The king says, because you are taking care of everything, I'm able to just focus on the work that I'm supposed to do, Guru. I don't have any anxiousness now. I'm not, pressurized by these things. The Guru smiled and said, you are exactly doing the things which you were doing earlier. The only thing is, you thought, I am the owner now. You thought you transferred the ownership. Physically, nothing was transferred. The mental shift, which made you believe that Guru is the owner, made you less anxious, made you perform the same tasks in a much better way. So you could handle the invaders, you could handle the so called famine situation, you could take care of your health and do what it takes. So the difference here is just the shift in the mindset. So as Narada Maharishi says, Krishnamboja Pada Yugalam, think of Bhagavan's Krishna's feet. He is our owner. Give all the ownership to him. Do what you're supposed to do. Everything will fall in place. We think we take the ownership. We think we are responsible. We carry the burden on our shoulders, become anxious, lose our wealth, lose our health. Everything takes a backseat. We become so filled with anxiety that psychosomatic diseases are predominant at this point of time. 80% of the health issues today are psychosomatic, says researchers. Because we are overwhelmed with situation. The solution in Kali Yuga is Krishna's divine feet. And Narada Maharishi advises this to Bhakti herself. Do not worry about Jnana Vairagya. Krishna's divine feet will actually give you the solution for everything. So the mind shift here again is, instead of thinking, I am doing it, I am doing it, I am doing it, and getting overwhelmed, focus on Bhagavan. Surrender yourself to Bhagavan. Not that you should not do your work. Keep doing your work. Keep doing your work without the mindset that we are doing the work. There is nobody to help us. No. Bhagavan is there to help us. He is going to take care of us. Give the burden of the results to Bhagavan. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. So that is the solution for Kali Yuga. In the earlier yugas, the sequence was Jnana, Vairagya leading us to Bhakti. In Kali Yuga, Bhakti gives us Jnana and Vairagya. The moment the king surrendered to his guru, his knowledge, his detached attachment in all the worldly matters started seeing proper results. Unlike anxiety, which was filling his mind earlier. So this is the solution in Kali. Therefore, what does Narada Maharishi say? Kalina sadrisha kopi yugo nasti varanane tasmin stvam stapayishyami gehe gehe jane jane. There is no other yuga like Kali. Hey Varanane, hey beautiful lady. There is nothing like Kali. Narada Maharishi is telling to Bhakti. At that point, what I'm going to do is, I am going to establish you in every single house, in every single person's mind. If I do not do this, I am not a Hari Bhakta, says Narada Maharishi. Such a strong statement from him. Papinopi gamishyanti. Hey Bhakti, you know what? You are Bhagavan Sri Krishna's favorite person. When you are there, Bhagavan Krishna does not see anything else. Wherever you are there, he enters that place. So he does not see, is this person a jnani? Has this person got enough vairagya? No. Hey, Bhakti is there, and Bhagavan gets into the place of Papina Lapi. Even of people who've done a lot of sins, Bhagavan enters. Now, the usual question people have is, so does it mean that a person can do any mistake and then claim that he is a devotee? Is that okay? How can that be acceptable? You know, we see people who do a lot of mistakes and then go to temple. What happens to all this? Going to temple is not considered bhakti. Having bhakti in our chitta, having Bhagavan's feet in our heart is considered bhakti, right? It is not just damba going to a temple. That is not considered bhakti. So when genuine bhakti is there, what happens? This is a beautiful analogy. Now we see the roads. In the roads, depending on the size of the road, certain vehicles can go. If the road is small, possibly a two-wheeler can go. If the road is slightly broader, four-wheelers can go. In really good highways, there can be huge trucks and big lorry loads which can go. Suppose this huge road has a barrier in between. Then hurdles are there, the heavy vehicles can't go. That is the situation of Jnana and Vairagya. There are some roads which are already small and there are hurdles. Jnana and Vairagya are not able to thrive. Now, Bhakti does not even compete here. She is not even a roadway. She is like a river. Now, visualize a river, a running water which is flowing so beautifully. There are pebbles. Water still flows. There are huge rocks. Water still flows. What happens? She accommodates herself depending on the scenario. She moves, she travels, she finds her way. In the process, she cleanses wherever she goes. All the locations where running water travel, a cleansing also happens. So this is the advantage of this beautiful bhakti. So wherever bhakti is there in the chitta, what happens? Cleansing is a result. So when Narada Maharishi says, Papino api, he is not saying for all the sinners, I'm going to establish. He says, the moment bhakti is established, Just like how when sun comes, darkness disappears. When bhakti comes, all the sins disappear. It is like fire lighting a heap of cotton. Everything vanishes, right? So the intention of sin, the possibility of sin, everything goes off the moment bhakti is established. So Narada Maharishi says, my purpose is to establish you in every house. He's not speaking about every ashrama. He's not speaking about the place where renowned souls are there. He says, in every household in Kali Yuga, I will go and establish. What does a household mean? Household means it is for little children. In the earlier Yuga, Praklada, Dhruva, all these little kids had so much of bhakti, right? In Kali Yuga, bhakti will be established in households, which means for small people, it will be there. Narada Maharishi says, Krishna's Padamboja helped Draupadi when she was humiliated by Kauravas. It helped all the Gopikas who did not have Jnana and Vairagya. Similarly, hey Bhakti, Krishna's Padambuja will help you, which means that for people who are like Gopikas, who are filled with Bhakti, this time is the best time. In every household, for people who do not have knowledge, Bhakti is going to help. People like Draupadi, Bhakti is going to help. Draupadi means there is nobody to help us. Who is going to help? Krishna is going to help. So when we think there is nothing else, there is no way out, Krishna is going to help. That is Draupadi's example. Is it going to help people who are elders? Bhishma Pitama, only Nama Sankirtana helped. So for old people, Nama Sankirtana is going to help. So, grihe, in every household, jane, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their background, irrespective of their situation, Bhagavan's feet, this bhakti in the chitta is going to help in Kali Yuga. So Narada Maharishi says, this is my sankalpa and I will ensure that this is succeeded. Otherwise, I am not a Haridasa itself. Take it from me, oh Bhakti. So he's got so much of conviction in this. Narada Maharishi tells Bhakti about her greatness, which nourishes her. And now she is ready. She thinks that, hey, I am now ready for being a person to accompany you in your mission. We will go and establish Bhakti in everybody's chitta in this Kali Yuga. She's asking, what about these two, Jnana and Vairagya? What can we do? So Narada Maharishi says, I will definitely find a solution. I will ensure that Jnana and Vairagya also wake up. So Narada Maharishi thinks about it. He goes to the ears of Jnana and Vairagya. He recites all the Vedas. Jnana and Vairagya merely attempt to wake up, and now they are like in their unconscious state, hardly able to open their eyes, and they are like, they are still weak. He recites the Vedanta, the Upanishads. Their plight is again like they're attempting to open the eyes, soon they fall asleep. The Purana says their hair is white and they are hardly able to get up. They're attempting to wake up, but they are pushed back to unconsciousness. Entire Bhagavad Gita is recited by Narada Maharishi. Still, they are not able to wake up. Now, Narada Maharishi is getting worried. He's like, I promised Bhakti that I will help wake up Jnana and Vairagya. The most important things, which is the foundation of everything, from which everything has come, is the Vedas, the Vedanta, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita. I have recited all these three to Jnana and Vairagya. Still, they are not waking up. What else should I do? So finally, he decides, okay, I think tapasya is going to give me the answer for this. He contemplates. As he is thinking about it, he hears a asariri. He is doing a tapas and he is hearing his asariri. The asariri vak said that you have to do a good deed. Jnana and Vairagya will wake up, and that will be revealed by the best of the knowledgeable people, the great divine saints. Think about it. This message is given to, says Narada Maharishi, Devarishi Narada. And what does it say? Do a good karma, jnana and vairagya will wake up. Now, Narada Maharishi is like, what else have I been doing? Sometimes we take a lot of efforts to do something, and people come and tell us, do something good. Everything will be fine in your life. Hey, what have I been doing till now? I thought I've been a good person all along. So, what is this new message, right? So, Devarishi Narada, all he's been doing is like so many divine things. And now this Asariri Shabda says, do a good karma, jnana and vairagya will wake up. So he is going and asking a lot of learned people. Because the Asariri said, the right people will appear in front of you and they will guide you. So Narada Maharishi is now going here, going there. He somehow wants to establish bhakti. So he's asking everybody, do you know what else should I do? I've already recited the Vedas, the Vedantas, Bhagavad Gita. Jnana and Vairagya are not waking up. Do you know? Was there a solution? So the rishis think, and some people say, you are the great divine Deva Rishi. If you do not know the solution, how are we to know about it? So they worship Narada Maharishi and they say that they do not have a solution. Now Narada Maharishi goes to few other learned people. They say that maybe you can ask another Rishi. They just help him go to different locations. Narada Maharishi travels everywhere. He's still not able to find a solution. When a person says, if you do this, you'll be okay, we know that we can be okay. There is a possibility that we'll be okay, right? So Narada Maharishi is confident that there is a solution. Now he's just searching, what is the solution? Where is the solution for me? So he goes to Badrikashrama and there he sees the Sanat Kumara Maharishis. Sanat Kumaras are there. Now try to recollect what we learnt in chapter 1. We learnt about 3 different locations where the Bhagavata Purana was mentioned, right? Now the second chapter connects this to the first chapter where Narada Maharishi is meeting the Sanat Kumaras. And here it is explicitly mentioned that it is Badrikashrama. There, what was the name that was given? Vishalapuri. So we can now conclude that Vishalapuri is Badrikashrama as mentioned in the Padma Purana. This is how we infer a lot of information in our Puranas. So in Vishalapuri, Badrikashrama, Narada Maharishi meets the Sanat Kumaras. Now the Sanat Kumaras look at Narada Maharishi. Narada Maharishi is now looking very tired. He's been asking all the rishis everywhere. Usually, Narada Maharishi glows with his aura. He is Deva Rishi. He has nothing to worry about. He always sings about Bhagavan's Kirtana. Sanat Kumaras are looking at Narada Maharishi and they're like, hey, Narada Maharishi, is there something that can trouble you? What is troubling you? So Narada Maharishi says, I promise Bhakti that I would establish her in every household, in every person. The Asariri Vak told me that there is a solution and I have to do a good karma for it. Can you please tell me what is the good karma? It also said the best of the sages will reveal that karma to me. Can you please tell me what it is? Now the Sanat Kumara Maharishi, they smile. And then they tell Narada Maharishi, it is very simple. You have the solution right with you. Narada Maharishi is like, what is the solution? Do I have it with me? I have been searching for it all along. And then they say that, recite Bhagavata Purana. Reciting Bhagavata Purana will help Jnana Vairagya to wake up. Now, Narada Maharishi begins to think. He worships the Sanat Kumaras. He says that the 4 Sanat Kumaras, you all are so great. The words that come from your mouth are always about Bhagavan Shree Krishna. His Nama Sankirtana comes. the advice that you give people is surrender to Bhagavan, surrender to Bhagavan. That's the one statement you all always say. You all reside in Sri Vaikunta. Whatever you say always comes true. The moment you looked at the Dwarapalakas who disrespected you, just the eyebrows, when you lifted or you shrinked your eyebrows, that was sufficient for the Dwarapalakas to be moved from Vaikunta all the way to the Bhumi and have repeated cycles of 3 births. You all are so great. But now I do not understand this solution that you're giving me. So he's not questioning how can your solution be correct. Narada Maharishi says, you all are so great. But how can Bhagavata Purana be a solution to wake up Jnana and Vairagya? I'm not able to understand this. Can you explain this to me? Because I have already recited the Vedas. Vedas are the seeds of everything. Bhagavata Purana also comes from this, the essence of the Vedas, right? It's the essence of the Vedanta. It is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. When I have recited the Vedas, Vedanta, Gita, and still they have not woken up, how will Bhagavata Purana, which is the outcome of this, help me wake them up? I do not understand how this is. Now the Sanat Kumaras smile at Narada Maharishi and they give 3 beautiful examples. Okay, these examples are something for us to think about, introspect. They say there is a huge tree. Okay, there is a huge tree. For us to identify, let us think of it as a mango tree. Okay. Now, this tree, from its roots, the entire shoot, the different branches, the different leaves, the fruits it has, everything is because of the mango seed. Everything has come up. Now, what happens? A commoner comes there. Will he be able to take the benefit of the roots, the branches, the leaves, anything of the mango tree? What will he first look for? Hey, there is this mango. He'll pluck the mango. He'll be able to consume the mango. The rasa of the mango can be understood only by the mango fruit and not by the roots or the shoots or the branches or any other part of the mango. So when the Sara is there, the easiest way for people to relate to is the Sara. That is what is going to help people. Now they give another beautiful example. Many temples have this Akanda Deepa, right? They put ghee in a lot of lamps. They go and light these lamps. A child is asked to go and light these lamps. This child uses a lot of logic. He analyzes things. He just does not listen directly to what the elders say. He does a lot of processing analysis in his mind. So the child thinks, what is the foundation of ghee? Milk. The cow gives milk. From the milk, a lot of processing is done. We get butter. When the butter is heated, we get ghee. So why should I go through all this process of churning and getting the butter and getting the ghee in order to light the lamps? Let me do a shortcut. Let me use the milk and let me go light the lamps. So the child takes a lot of milk and he attempts to light the lamp. It is not glowing. He attempts again. Maybe I didn't light it properly. He does it with so many different strategies. Nothing seems to work. Why? Because though the ghee is derived from the milk, the ghee is not the same as the milk. Ghee will help us light the lamp. In fact, the milk, if you look at all the Agni, when we do a lot of yajnas, if you put the milk, the Agni will go off. If you put the ghee, the Agni will grow brighter, right? So the milk was not useful to light the lamp. The ghee was useful to light the lamp. So the Sanat Kumara Maharishi say, this is exactly what happened. You used the Vedas, you used the Vedantas, you used all the Bhagavad Gita slokas. These are like the roots, the foundation, the branches. But then the Sara is like the fruit. Similarly, you use the milk. You didn't want to churn. You didn't want to give the distilled ghee. That was the problem. Now this Jnana and Vairagya are like they need oxygen to survive. At this point, if you're going to give them something else, how are they going to survive? Give them the Bhagavata Purana. The moment you supply oxygen, they will be able to get up. So the third example is also given. The third example says, now a person is needing some sugar. Let us assume they are having this low sugar problem, okay? So with the low sugar problem, the instant solution is to have some sugar in the mouth. At that point, we are going and saying, look, there is 100 acres of sugarcane. Go, take whichever sugarcane you want, how many ever sugarcanes you want. You can cut, you can crush, you can have the essence of the sugarcane. This person is merely able to open the eyes. They are merely able to, open their lips and even take a sip of the sugar. If you ask them to go to this 100 acres, take the sugarcane, how will they be able to consume? So we have to go through this process of churning, distillation, giving them that sugar which is needed so that they wake up. Again, Vedas, Vedantas, Bhagavad Gita, they are the foundation. They are these acres of sugarcane. But what is required by Jnana and Vairagya and this Kali Yuga is this distilled sugar which comes from the sugarcane. So the Sanat Kumaras explained to Narada Maharishi that this is what is required by them. So once all this is explained, Narada Maharishi realizes it. He requests the Sanat Kumaras to help him start the Bhagavata Purana recitation. So the net effect of all this is that the moment the Bhagavata Mahatmyam was mentioned, Jnana, Vairagya started gaining their consciousness. Just the Mahatmya, not even the entire Purana. When the Bhagavata Mahatmya was mentioned, Jnana and Vairagya became younger and they all started dancing. Everybody is now sitting there and they are relishing this whole thing because they have woken up. Bhakti is there, Jnana is there, Vairagya is there. They don't have a place now. They are like, where do we sit? And then they are blessed, saying that Bhakti, Jnana, and Vairagya, all of you can take your seats in the hearts of people who recite the Bhagavata Purana. So Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya will sit in the chitta of people who listen to the Bhagavata Purana, who recite the Bhagavata Purana, who are engrossed in the Bhagavata Purana. So that is the result that is mentioned here. So the most important part here is Shree Krishna Charanam Bhojam Smara Dukkam Gamishyati. I will now recite. One of you can follow after me. Satyadi Triyuge Bodha
सत्यादित्रियुगे बोध
Vairagyau Mukti Sadakau
वैराग्यो मुक्तिसाधकौ
Kalau Tu Kevala Bhaktihi
कलौ तु केवला भक्तिः
Brahma Sayujyakarini
ब्रह्म सायुज्यकारिणी
Alam Vratair Alam Tirtaihi
अलम व्रतैरलं तीर्थैः
Alam Yogairalam Makhaihi
अलम योगै अलम मखैः
Alam Jnana Kathalapaihi
अलम ज्ञानकथालापैः
Bhaktirekaiva Muktidam
भक्तिरैकैव मुक्तिदा
Kalina Sadrishakopi
कलिना सदृशः कोऽपि
Yugo Nasti Varanane
युगो नास्ति वरानने
Tasmin Stvam Stapayishyami
तस्मिन् त्वां स्थापयिष्यामि
Gehe Gehe Jane Jane
गेहे गेहे जने जने
Tvadanvitascha Ye Jiva
त्वदन्तिस्तयात्ये जीवा
Bhavishyanti Kalaviha
भविष्यन्ति कलाविह
Papinopi Gamishyanti
पापिनोऽपि गमिष्यन्ति
Nirbhayam Krishna Mandiram.
निर्भयं कृष्णमन्दिरम्.
Nrinam Janma Sahasrena
नृणां जन्मसहस्रेण
Bhaktau Pritirhi Jayate
भक्तौ प्रीतिर्हि जायते
Kalau Bhaktihi
कलौ भक्तिः
Bhaktya Krishna Purastitaha
भक्त्या कृष्णः पुरस्थितः
Nrinam Janma Sahasrena. Only after thousands of Janmas, Bhaktau Pritirhi Jayate. People will want to have bhakti in their hearts, it seems. It is not easy for somebody to become a devotee. So, Bhaktau Pritirhi Jayate. Hey, I am really looking forward to being a devotee. That feeling will come only after thousands of Janmas. In Kali Yuga, when that bhakti comes, Krishna comes and stands in front of us, says Narada Maharishi. How beautiful. So here we have realized that in Kali Yuga, Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya sequence undergoes a change. The prerequisites that was there in the earlier yugas are not possible in this yuga. So what happens? We can start where we are. The only thing we have to do is listen with Shraddha. That itself becomes a prerequisite. Our ears are always open. Listen to Harikatha, listen to Bhagavata. Now, what will happen? This relationship through our ears with the Bhagavata Purana will ensure that a transformation automatically happens, just as how the king gave the ownership, the relationship between the king and the guru. The moment the burden was transferred to the guru, the king could actually have a transformation, right? Similarly, the moment we establish a relationship to Krishna Charanamboja, to Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana is nothing but Krishna's Rupa. What happens? The internal transformation happens because it's like a running water which is going to purify us. Sound will do the job. We do not need all the prerequisites like the previous yuga, the jnana, saucha, the indriya nigraha, the perseverance, tapas, all that is not required. This listening, this sound will take care of all the transformation. Like the king, we will be doing the same activities, but without the burden. It is not saying give up all your activities, do the activities, but then don't do the activity with so much of anxiety that it can lead to your health problems, it can lead to your mental trauma, it can lead to anger. No. Keep doing the same things because the burden and the ownership is transferred mentally. Because that shift happens, our burden automatically reduces. This is what is the tested proven plan which is given by Narada Maharishi in the second Adhyaya. So these are the takeaways for us. So here if you notice, so Shraddha is the prerequisite. Life continues in Kali Yuga, be it family, be it work, be it responsibilities, all the imperfections, all the distractions, like how the king had the problems because of invaders, the problem because of the expected drought, his own health, everything. He was filled with anxiety, but now we are listening to Bhagavata Purana with Shraddha. Kali continues. The Shravana, the Bhagavata Katha happens. Nama Sankirtana happens. Association with Bhakti happens. When we keep regularly listening, what happens? The Bhakti, like the flowing river, is now going to cleanse. It is going to accommodate itself during our everyday routine. But then our anxiety, our fear, everything is going to go off. And we are going to taste the Bhagavata Amrita. We are going to taste Bhagavan. Because of this, our burden is going to reduce. So, as a conclusion of this chapter, the Bhagavata Purana is not asking us to fix our life. It is just saying, add this beautiful flavor of Bhagavan into it. When Bhagavan is added, the entire equation changes. You transfer the burden to him, and then you are free to do whatever you want to do. So that is the main essence of what we can apply from the Dvitiya Adhyaya of the Bhagavata Mahatmyam as mentioned in the Padma Purana. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yat yat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami achyutaya namaha Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Shri Krishna. Did just one or two questions. Did any of you attempt to apply the Parikshit's mental model? Did you find any difference the way you approach things? Any live experiences? We've learned Parikshit's mental model, right? Where we took the sara of everything. So it could be like, usually I don't like to listen to this person, but because of this, I listen to him. What was the intention? Something, it can be from a phone call to meeting a person to something about yourself, anything in life. Did any of you attempt applying?
So it has
Because
helped me a
end
lot.
of the day, what happens is like, listening to this is definitely going to help us, but we have to evaluate ourselves, right? Like, are we applying this? Because when we listen, it is manovakayam. We are learning from Ugra Shravas, who is an active listener. He's just not listening. He's listening through all his indriyas, reading within the lines. And when we implement things, we can start leading by example. Correct? So let us attempt, because I'm keeping the discussions very simple. There are around 76 slokas in the second adhyaya. I've just given the selected slokas in it, because what do we get as the essence? What can we implement? That is what I'm looking at. So taking that sara and applying it on everyday life, and we have 1 week to practice what we learn. So that way, it can gel into our system before we go on to the next topic. And that's why I wanted to finish it a little early today, so that we can know that applying this is very important in our life. So this week, we will attempt to apply the Parikshit's mental model. In addition to that, what we learned today, do not think we have to take the ownership of everything. Just loosen the burden, give it to Krishna. The moment he has helped us be born here, he's ensured that we have food. The mother starts having milk only the moment the child is born, right? Which means Bhagavan decides that the moment a child is born, it needs food. He's been so, considerate to all of us. He's given the food even before we come. Will he not take care of us for the rest of the life? It's just that confidence we need to develop. He will take care, and give the burden off to him, get rid of anxiety, and we will start living our life. So that is what we've learned today. So let's apply these, and we will meet again the next class tomorrow. Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste, Ram Ram.
Thank you,
Jai
Guru.
Shri
Thank you.
Krishna.
Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you,
Ram
Guru.
Ram.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you,
Jai
Guru.
Shri Krishna.
Dhanyavada, Guru.
Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you, Guru. Jai
Dhanyavadaha.
Shri
Thank you.
Krishna.
Dhanyavada, Guru.
Jai Shri
Jai
Krishna.
Shri
Jai
Krishna
Shri Krishna,
Jai.
Guru.
Jai
Dhanyavada Guru.
Dhanyavadaha.
Beautiful class. Thank you so much.
Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you so much, Guru. Very
Dhanyavada
Thank you.
Guru.
Dhanyavadaha.